my YouTube video today. I'm bringing you guys another book review. This was actually from a book that came in my son's, I believe it was the January box, unless it was a February box, of this year, the book subscription he had with Owlcrate Jr. And it's this book right here, The Storm Keeper's Island by Catherine Doyle. Her grandparents lived in Aramore Island, and she basically kind of paid tribute to it here. She kind of transformed it into this magical world, which I thought was actually really brilliant. Here's the thing, I'm not going to give you guys spoilers here, but I am going to give you a little bit of like the plot and a little summary, but without giving you like the ending or like probably like from the middle to the end of the book. This storyline is revolved around Fionn Boyle. He has a sister named Tara who is older than him and who is basically a bratty teen. Oh my gosh, like she was a character that I just could not get behind. Like, there was moments where I just wanted to like put down the book and be like, oh, that little girl, oh my gosh. But then I was like, no, I need to know what's gonna happen. And I would pick it up back again. But the way she treated Fionn, I just thought it was just like such like, oh gosh, like as a sister, she was just so rude to him. There was a lot of things that he was questioning and asking, and she just didn't want to give him any information and kept leaving him in the loop and whatnot. But anywho, before I go on this tangent about Tara, the character, I'm just going to say right off the bat, Fionn and Tara were basically sent to spend time with their grandfather that lives in Aramore Island. So here's Fionn and Tara getting on the ferry. Fionn hates water, he's afraid of water, so his anxiety definitely starts to build up, and you could tell that he's just like not comfortable being on the ferry, and the whole ride there really gives you a perspective as to how in his mind his anxiety and his panic basically can really develop when it comes to anything related to water, which is kind of crazy because he's about to go into this island that's literally in the middle of a body of water. But anywho, they're both docks, and immediately Fionn notices that something is odd about the island. It's not like the typical island, but it's things that he's starting to see that is just not quite normal to him. For example, he's walking in the island and he feels as if the island is breathing, like it's kind of pulsating, or there's a breath of life, or something he can definitely not explain. And though he tries to ask his sister what's going on, she refuses to give him an answer. So he has to kind of find things out on his own, and that's basically where these characters are. Like Tara kind of pushes Fionn away and is like, look, you're just an annoying little brother, like I don't really care for you. Meanwhile, Fionn is just getting irritated by the way Tara treats him, and he decides, you know what, I'm gonna try to discover things on my own then. And because of that, I feel he definitely ends up finding answers to the questions that he did have. Eventually, they end up reaching their grandfather's little hut or little home, and Fionn notices again that it just seems like the home is kind of breathing and things are just definitely very, very different. He did notice the moment he saw his grandfather, he was very, very tall. When he walked into the home, he noticed there was a very large candle by the chimney, which he, by the chimney mantle or whatnot, and that intrigued him. That candle actually plays a big part of the storyline, which later on Fionn ends up realizing, but he also notices there's loads and loads of candles around the living room, which he does not understand why. Now, his grandfather is a candle maker, but he's not any kind of typical candle maker. Like, he's a very... Well, Fionn ends up realizing that the candles that his grandfather makes are not what he thinks they are. He ends up realizing they're not just the regular kind of candle that you turn on and boom, everything's fine. You just enjoy the smell and the scent, and that's it. Oh no, these candles play a huge part in the story. But anywho, that's as much as I'm going to tell you guys about the story. Point is, things get complicated. Fionn needs to discover and realize what the heck is going on before it's too late, and that's all I'm gonna tell you guys. So if you guys actually really want quite an interesting story, something very different, I think it probably has more closer ties to Percy Jackson, I would say, than it is to Harry Potter. If you're trying to kind of figure out what kind of magic you probably see in here, only because you don't see really wands and stuff like that, but it does have to do a lot with the water and the candles and the air, the atmosphere, the climate, and just the island in general. there is so much development going on from even prior ancestors of things that happened in the past. But yeah, this story actually really intrigued me. This one did take me a few days. I would say like 2 or 3 days, but that's not the book's fault. I think if I could actually sit down, I could probably finish it in a sitting, but I definitely couldn't. There was a lot of things that I had to kind of do, a lot of errands to do. My life got a little busy, let's just say. So I wasn't able to actually sit down and finish it, but I feel like you probably could if you were someone who is like a fast reader. You'd probably be able to finish it in a quick sitting. I think this one has a total of, let me see, yeah, probably around 300 pages, give or take. This is a middle grade book, so if you guys are interested in something like this, you guys can definitely check it out. I actually personally loved everything about it, including the cover here. It just makes so much sense because candles play a huge part in this story, and it does explain to you what these candles really are and what they mean to Erinmore Island, because all the islanders basically know what it means. But yeah, this one is definitely interesting, and Fionn basically has to realize a lot of things, including his destiny. So for me, I would definitely give it a 4.5, only because I'm so irritated with Tara, his sister. It was probably one of those characters that I really needed to like, I don't know. I wish I didn't dislike her as much as I did. It wasn't until the very end that I somewhat kind of cared for her, but oh man, she was a doozy. But nonetheless, I thought it was a great book, a very great book. So if you guys are interested in it, definitely check it out. If you guys like this video, definitely give it a like. That would mean the world to me, especially here on YouTube land. And also subscribe and click the notification button if you want to get notified every time I upload. So until next time, you guys, toodles!